Morena from Aotearoa, and today I happen to be in the galactic gateway of Whangarei. And I just discovered quite recently the other meaning of Whangarei is gathering place of the whales, which is really interesting as we come together on this very powerful Wesak new moon. And this morning's meditation was very much a time of deep honoring for all of you here who are meeting and those that are listening to the recording who have put so much dedication and devotion into your personal path, particularly over the last 4 decades, because we've arrived at the threshold of the time to shine. And then in came Mat, the Egyptian god who weighs the heart against a feather. So I'm very, very grateful for us being here together to celebrate this threshold and all that awaits us as we birth this new earth into being, one heart at a time. So let us begin with aligning through the bodies, inviting you to sound, breathe, and move, should you just be arriving into this place or space or recording. Physical, mental, emotional bodies with all-pervading soul or higher self and monadic galactic self. Activating the Earth Star, 1 foot, half a meter beneath the feet, and connecting through the divergent meridians of the planetary body. Rios de luz, light, agua, water, fuego, fire, and oro, gold, mineral, and crystal kingdom. And inviting those primordial elements of creation in their purity and infinite potential up through our personal pillars to cleanse, clear, and purify. To regenerate, rejuvenate, recalibrate. And to energize and revitalize our ancient souls in these human bodies. Surrendering through the core of Source and the heart of Gaia and the core, where the new earth architecture emerges from and where we may rest, where we are held and supported and loved unconditionally. Knowing that all those we meet when we are anchored through that space are also held. It's not our job to hold. Surrendering through the core of Source in our own unique heart spaces. Allowing the next chamber of our hearts to open in unconditional love to our planet and humanity, to all species, as all species are evolving. Surrendering through the core of Source in the heart of the Sun and in the heart of the great central Sun. And through the core of Source in the heart of the Moon and in the heart of Theia. And surrendering through the core of Source in the galactic center, wherever that is located within your own unique system, be it through the umbilical or through the third eye, our gateway to God, the all-seeing and the all-knowing. As we invite in all parts of our consciousness through time, space, and dimension into this body bubble here and now. Inviting in our ancient future self, as we gather together in this unified field to serve according to divine will and divine plan, and in right relationship with our physical bodies and human experience. Inhaling, exhaling with sound as we strengthen and fortify our own unique pillar. Inhaling, exhaling with sound, strengthening and fortifying our pillar in the unique place on the planet where we stand as we honor the guardians of this land. Inhaling, exhaling with sound as we connect through and around the planetary body. As I hand you over to Casey to continue our journey, staying in this unified field.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up in Circle today. We are going to step into the greater field of consciousness at this time, keeping our telepathic connections intact. I invite you to step out with me onto the crystalline grid at this time, for there is much being done today. See your feet anchored onto that grid point wherever you are, and notice what's around you. Notice the impulses that are going back and forth. We draw your attention now to the greater impulses that are coming in through the galactic waves, connecting now to the crystalline core, charging up the core and allowing it to send out waves of electricity upon the grid, amplifying the grid at this time, igniting, electrifying the crystalline temples, pyramids, and cities of light. There are upgrades happening. The same impulses we feel in the human system as they travel down our nervous system and activate our muscles to begin to act and move. The crystalline grid also affects the crystalline grid in our bodies, our crystal bodies. They're open to these impulses at this time as well. As we are shifting, changing, our physical bodies are upgrading into that quantum space. Stepping outside of time itself, becoming one with Gaia, becoming one with the greater consciousness in the source fields, in the creation waves. Feeling that impulse coming in through the bottom of our feet and up through our body systems, expanding out through our heart spaces, strengthening our connection to one another, and strengthening our connection to the unified field. Feel how magnetic you feel once you are connected here. Notice your perspective of all things changes in this space. We welcome you into this new awareness as you are being shifted at this time. Recognizing that you are part of the greater shift that is happening. the first of the ground crew to be utilized in this way. Each one of you a lighthouse, a transmitter, receiving those cosmic waves and amplifying it out as far as your energetic connection allows. Through this wave, through this field, all of Gaia is connected. As that web of consciousness, ever expanding into the field. We are grateful for your connection at this time. Understanding that the earth pyramids, the earth temples operate in a different way. There is learning to be had, both from the crystalline grid and the earth grids themselves. From the hydroelectric mechanics that operate the earth pyramids. They too are undergoing their upgrades at this time to be reconnected, reestablished. That's why many of you are being called to these sacred places, unlocking the gateways, reconnecting the electronics, the electrical grid, reconnecting the water pathways. Each one of you plays a part. It is important to know where you fit into the puzzle, what your mission is in this lifetime, and what skill sets you hold. For no job can be done alone. It takes all of you working together. Again, we are grateful for your participation, for you stepping in and saying yes. Each time the journey is able to go forward one step at a time. We welcome you back into the circle at this time. There's more information to come through the field, through the connected heart space. I would invite you to anchor into your physical body at this time. Feeling your feet on the floor, feeling your chair beneath you. Notice where you are connected to Gaia on the earth plane. Breathing deeply into your human bodies. When you are ready, opening your eyes and choosing to come back in at this time.
Beautiful. Thank you, Casey. For our theme word given today is our quantum alchemical restructuring. And it was beautiful as Casey was talking about this web of light, this crystalline field. And when we interface that through the physical body, what we're actually looking at is our fascia. And if you look at our biology lessons from school, when people spoke about the fascia, they just said, oh, it's just the connective tissue. And it's so much more than just the connective tissue. It's a crystalline grid, the piezoelectric electromagnetic system in our body, where fluid is crystalline. It's like plasma. And this is through our fascia that we are constantly interfacing with our environment dimensionally, giving and receiving information. And this is why our embodiment is such a vital part of this journey, for us to be anchored through the physical body, while we are interfacing through our own crystalline grids with one another, with all species, with the planetary, solar, galactic, and universal fields. So really paying attention to our daily practice is vital, and having a bamboo body, a strong and supple body, is vital. To have a strong body without the supple fluidity of it, it breaks. It doesn't bend. But to have a bamboo body that's soft and strong is what we need to really caretake our lighthouse during this time of evolution. And it was so beautiful also when you were speaking into the unified field that exists every time we gather. We're through the heart on the planet right now, and watching how simply being in this unified field is deconstructing the old without physically doing anything or energetically or consciously doing anything. Just being in the unified field around the planet is deconstructing, but also dissolving the veils between realities. So it's a real vital time to let go of the way we hold reality personally and collectively. Even for those of us who have been on a personal path for many years, it's really important that we release the way we've held things so that the new may emerge. And that's where the quantum shifts are possible. Trauma need no longer be processed physically and emotionally in big cathartic experiences. They can be combusted through sound, breath, and gentle movement, effectively transforming the elemental energy into something else and making space for more of our consciousness to land. And on that note, let's open the field to hear if anybody else has any questions or contributions to the field for what has been emerging in the last 2 weeks, as it's been a very busy time energetically on our planetary body. Or have I been the only one busy doing housework, personally and planetary, for this journey? And my most recent adventures were up in northern India, in Kashmir and Srinagar, opening the apertures up there and in Tibet. But it's been a very busy 2 weeks. So then let us ask, having many, many meetings of preparation up until this Wesak full moon, for what purpose we are gathering today. And as I ask that question, we're getting taken into the core of Source in the heart of Gaia, the very center of the planetary body. And what I'm seeing is like a lotus flower awaiting to open. And we're going to go through the process of the 7 stages of that opening from the core of Gaia and see where it wants to go. So coming into our pillars through our unified field and inviting this opening in the core of Gaia on the eve of this Wesak full moon. And in an earth level, Remembering that as these openings are happening, you may be feeling it through your own bodies. And if so, I invite you to stand up, sound, breathe, and move if it may support. Through the planetary level. Now it looks like, I was going to say thousands, but millions of little lotuses opening at the planetary level. Then at a solar level. And as that opens, we have Kahu fly by, which is the closest Aotearoa has to an eagle now, since the loss of the great big black eagles that were the largest on the planet before they became extinct. And into a galactic level. Feel like a big whale coming into that level. And into our universal level. And into the core of Source itself. Inviting everybody to take a big breath and a little sound breath and movement after that. And opening the space for anybody who would like to share.
Yes, hello, everybody. It was quite amazing when you said, Lian, you said you saw like 1,000 lotus flowers opening, and I could feel like millions of people all over the planet are already starting to meditate. They are already feeling this energy of this Wesak. And it's quite amazing the intense activity that is happening in all levels.
Beautiful. Thank you for your share. I got a beautiful shower of koyopa from that.
Leanne, that same image of those little lotus flowers opening. I was working with the dragons last night, and there were several dragon races that all over the earth we were opening up these little portals of light. It felt like very similar to what you were describing.
That's beautiful. And thank you. The dragons have been very present these last 2 weeks also. Anyone else would like to? Questions for the field or contributions to the field? Because it feels like there's still 4 more pieces to today's jigsaw puzzle. So maybe we'll just carry on then and see where it takes us. The next destination is Kailash, which we had a feeling would be in the field today. And where the first one with Gaia was from the source and the core of Gaia out, for Kailash, we're coming from out in. We're actually going from the source field through the universal field. So coming into our pillars, into harmonic, and inviting the next opening through Kailash from the source field. Universal. Galactic. As we do the galactic field, I'm watching a whole lot of beings coming in by hang gliders through the solar field. Maybe they were jets because they just turned into parachutes onto the solar field. And through the planetary body. Inner Earth. And the core of Source in the heart of Gaia. Opening up our evolutionary potential in its infinite capacity. Removing all the blocks and all the governing devices. To accelerate the ascension, which of course we know is a descent of consciousness into form, an integration of spirit into matter. Again, inviting you to take a big breath or two, sound, breathe, and move to support integrating And as we pause here for a moment, is there any other contributions to that piece of the puzzle? Casey.
As we were opening up all the gateways, I was getting this image of a new sun being birthed through Kailash. And it wasn't a new sun exactly, it was the master solar disk. Like there's new codes being emitted, new activation coming through the disk itself.
Beautiful. Keep going. I'm just enjoying the ecstasy of this information.
I was asking if they were source codes, and they're not source codes, but they're solar galactic. Like new dimensional levels are opening up on the sun disk itself.
Yeah, I think that was the piece I was looking at, that it was it's like all of the governing devices and all the everything that had to be shut down is just like open now. Just simple. It's open. And it's a choice to show up, do the work, and descend, to be able to access our multidimensionality in a sincere and safe way. Wow. Anna Katrina, have you got something for us?
Yeah, it was, can you hear me? Yeah, it was so beautiful because before we started, I just got these sentences. There will be many different star nations tonight taking part. So that was that opening. And I was planting today, actually, really physically crystals with one of these new children's of the time. And they are really planted in the earth, and they built a crystal pyramid. Like they are really strong. They are a collaboration with a Danish crystal group. And after we had been planting them, I took this photo of the sun, and I realized it is like, again, like a sun portal opening. It was like all the suns are open, and something new. It felt like really something new appeared. And then it was on the way, it was already, I saw this car in front of me, Shambhala. And that is what they said to Shambhala opening. Yes. Yeah.
It's beautiful. You've triggered a memory I have, years ago, when I came out of Africa, and I knew I'd have to continue to move on the planet and be an instrument of service. So I got in touch with some of the guys I used to be in the overland community with, who are still project coordinators. I said, if you need a freelance guide, let me know. And I was asked to go to Yemen. And it was like, okay. I didn't even know where Yemen was. I had to look it up on the map, to be honest. And I discovered lots of magic about Yemen. And of course, all the issues around Yemen was a fight over the Stargate down in the bottom. But I was also taken to Socotra, where 3 tectonic plates meet in the island of Socotra and the Sea of Aden, which is a very important point on our planet during this time of evolution. However, that's not why I was going to share the story. The story comes from, I knew I had to go stop at Egypt. I haven't been to Egypt for quite a few years. So it's like, can you please fly me Air Egypt? And on the way there, I had quite a long layover. And if it was over 8 hours, they said you can have a hotel room. So I stepped outside the airport after a few hours of organizing and turned around at the setting sun and looking into the sun, and it literally just transformed. And I watched it as you look into a jet engine start spiraling in a big spiral. And I was completely outside of time and space, and I was just waiting there. And then when it completed, my taxi arrived. But that somehow connected with this shift in the sun that's taking place now. And also why the sun is revered so greatly in, of course, the Egyptian mystery schools. and many others. Wow. And why humanity were made to fear the sun in many cases. So thank you. And on that note, should we ask for number 3 for today? Where are we going to next, everyone? Being taken down into South America to Aconcagua in the Andes. And this one also, like Kailash, will open from the apertures from the source through to the core of source in the planetary body. So into our pillars and unified field as Aconcagua begins to open from source. Universal. Galactic. Solar. Planetary. As we're doing this, I keep getting the 3 foghorn of a ship leaving the harbor. The ship's leaving, who's on board? Inner Earth. And the core of source in the heart of Gaia. Remembering to breathe, sound, and move, supporting our bodies to integrate those waves. And it did. We concluded on a lot of waves there in the core of source, in the heart of Gaia. Yes, Casey. Please share.
What came through in that connection, the information that wanted to come through was that their solar codes was never shut down. Like the sun was never distorted through their codes that they received in that location. And I was curious if it's closer because it's closer to the equator or maybe just because of the purity of the location. But that channel didn't need the aperture opened. It was already opened and the codes had already been received.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that's why there's quite a big community in that area too. That has been established for at least 10 to 15 years now. Wow. Anyone else? Any other contributions or questions to the field? That's 3 parts of our 5-part journey today.
Oh, for me, what it feels like, I don't know how to translate pictures into words, but it feels like what we are doing right now, it's shifting. Let's say that, we're surrounded with different particles and they are being replaced, part of them, old ones being replaced with the new codes, like the galactic ones. And the further we go in this activation, it's just like it's shifting the particles which are surrounding us. And what I've been shown that the last 2 weeks, which we spoke about this alchemical fire which was shifting also things in humans, in people. Also the way I saw it was that it was kind of burning out certain particles in us, connected with 3D reality, our ways of being in the world and old patterns. And right now it's almost like those new particles which are kind of hanging out in the air and around are able to go into those empty places, or those places emptied by this alchemical fire. And one thing which is doing, like the way I see it, is like shifting our structure and our codes, but also because it's kind of like we're having the same codes as that are around, so it's creating more like a unified field as a default mode. And the way I see it is that it will be progressive. That right now it's just like certain particles have been changed. I don't know how to translate like the pictures. So I hope it makes sense. And it's the same in the human systems, but it will be progressing. Like there will be more and more like old particles replaced with the new ones, old codes replaced with the new ones. But it's like there is this equality of the codes which are surrounding us and landing in us, which is creating like more unified field with the source, with everything. So it's really like it's beautiful actually. So right now I'm happy that I went through those 2 weeks of being burnt because it made a lot of space for those new particles. But yeah, and it seems like it's a natural, organic thing. Like it's not so much like we can't do about it. We can allow it or not. Of course, it's always a choice. So.
Thank you for sharing it in 3 words: quantum alchemical restructuring. Now we understand why we're given those words for today's gathering. That's what's taking place. Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Okay, shall we ask where number 4 is? Another one out in South America. Our Sangati. So thank you. Olga's currently in Valley Sagrado. So this one's for our Sangati, and our Sangati is also connecting from external, internal. So as we come into our pillars and the unification of our field, opening our Sangati from source. Universal level. galactic. Solar level. Planetary level. In Earth. And source, core of source in the heart of Gaia. Taking your time to sound, breathe, and move to integrate that one. Seems that our Sangati has a lot of impact if you're standing in Peru right now. Anybody would like to share any contributions to the field for that one?
Well, maybe because I'm very close, I could kind of feel energetically what was happening there. I don't remember which level was that, but it felt like something was really like activated and freed there. And like what I saw, that there were like really, really ancient dragons there, which were protectors of like a co-creation codes, kind of like really being there and protecting it. And through what we were doing, they were like, because the codes were activated, they didn't have to protect them anymore. So it's like, it looked like, you know, outburst of happiness that they're not stuck there anymore in the role and in the mission, and they were kind of freed, and there were kind of like really a lot of dragons going out of the assimilate. Still on the same mission, but right now not to protect the codes, but right now to spread the codes and activate the codes all over the planets. It was really like, you know, like children in the kindergarten, which finally can go out and play.
Beautiful, thank you. And as you shared, I was reminded of my Red Road path of remembering with the four winds and taking a moment to honor the Laika, who were the predecessors of the Inca. They were the light carriers, and they were the ones that took the wisdom up into the Apus, up into the Andes, to protect it from the colonialists and the conquistadors. Until this time of remembering, when it was important to bring the ancient wisdom forward to support the souls who are ready to awaken. So yeah, thank you. Anyone else for that journey? Oh, let's ask where our final destination is for today. South America. Again, the Andes are busy today. Oh, Lake Titicaca. Lago Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world, where also another one of the sun disks are located. The first one that came back online with us nearly 2 years ago now. So, and the journey for Lago Titicaca is from inner earth out as we began this journey today. So coming into our pillars through the unified field and starting in the core of source, in the heart of Gaia, in the depths of Lake Titicaca. Which is also right next to one of our planetary pyramids. Inner earth. Planetary level. Titicaca is right next to Tiwanaku. Solar. Galactic. Universal. And source. As this one opens, I can feel the song of the spheres singing again. Oh, Taking a big breath and sounding, breathing and moving into that one. And I'd love to hear from you, Casey. You're going to have so much information.
They were drawing my attention to the Hall of Records. Feels like it's in the pyramid itself, right? But it's the planetary records, like epochs of time, that is stored there. And there's a portal between the lake and the pyramid. Is that true? And whatever the codes that received from that comes onto the lake gets pulled into that pyramid.
I'd say in times past, the lake was there where Tiwanaku is, but now with changes, it's not right now. But they are, yes, they are connected. Wow. And yeah, it's about the ancient records being revealed, for we are birthing the next root race of humanity. Yeah.
The ancient ones are bringing back the codes from inner earth. That is was happening, was said and shown. Mhm.
Beautiful.
And what I saw, what when we were doing this, like first the disc started to spin so quickly that I barely could see anything because I felt dizzy. But what it kind of like, I don't know, produced or projected from the disc was like two infinity patterns, infinity energetic patterns, like why one connecting human and divine and another connecting masculine, feminine. So kind of like the complete divine union codes being activated, like another layer, because we are working on it like layer by layer by layer, but it felt really like really solid, I would say, like, and at the same time, like union of human and divine level and masculine, feminine all together, really supported by this spinning disc. So kind of like really, I don't know, I don't have words.
Thank you. Any other contributions or questions to the field? That is a lot to integrate.
Leanne, it feels like there's one more piece.
It feels like it's sound orientated. I know it's very early in the morning for you, Talia. You may not want to sing for us, but maybe you'd like to lead a sound closing circle.
It's very early in the morning. Yeah. Okay. Just allowing our hearing to open and tuning to the sounds around us. I can hear all the birds calling in the early hours of the morning here in Bali. And so maybe wherever you're gathered, you're hearing the songs of all our animal creatures. Mayaka, oh Mayaka, 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 oh Shamaya, Layaka, Layamai, ah Mayakayati, Maya, Mayaka. Etya Mayaka Hashamaya, oh Mayaka Mayakaya, oh Tia Mayaka, oh Tia Maya. Tia Kamayashi, Tia Shamoya Tamoya Shaki, Hatia Kau, Huhu Amayaka. Hatia Kashi Maya 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 Kamaya Hashia Oh Ayamaya Oh Ayamaya Oh, moya, moya, mo. Hawaya, Hawaya, ma. Akamayashi. Kuayamashi Mashia Ashia Maya Maya Hu 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 Ayaha Ashi Ashia Mayakaya Ati Mayaka Atia Mayaka Huaya Huaya Haki Oh Wayamaika Wayamaika I also just wanted to mention, I don't know if it has any relevance, but I've been feeling the white lion really strongly throughout this call. Thank you.
Oh, what a beautiful gift. Thank you, Talia. And we are gifted, for Talia is the first one to claim her place in the circle in our ancient future. Sacred journey through Egypt this coming September equinox, where Talia will also be offering her gift of song in 3 circles, whilst we are on our Dahabeah in Upper Egypt through the initiation temples. Thank you so much for your song. And it was wonderful to be able to interact with your song from mute while you were singing. This is the first time I've done that rather than just listening. And the system integrates it in a different way when I sing with you. Yeah. So thank you for this gift. Any other contributions before we close our journey for today? Did that feel complete, Casey, the last piece?
I just want to share and thank you, Talia, because like while you were singing, like what I saw was happening, like all those activations which happened and all the work we did was kind of like woven into like all pyramid networks, like underground and underwater pyramids, kind of like they were connecting and activating, like, and were informed with all the informations like from all those activations, and as well all the on ground pyramids as well as etheric and crystalline energetic ones. So it felt like, you know, your voice was kind of like leading all those informations into circles, into activating all the networks, informing all the networks. So, and right now it's kind of like humming and vibrating with all those codes. So it was like a beautiful completion of the work. So like, I'm really grateful. It's beautiful to watch it.
Talia, there was one sentence coming up that was so beautiful. The love has been sung back into the web of life. It was so beautiful, woven, really everything woven together, but it was like this grid of love that will overlay all the other grids, something like that.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't just get koyopa from that message, I have tears as well.
It's beautiful to have landed back in Bali and just to feel the land here in so much ritual and so much beauty and care, and yeah, just being here for the next 2 weeks and just to feel the song of the land here and just to be with that and sort of curious to explore that. Because you obviously know it well, Leanne.
It may know me better than I know myself still. That's how Bali is. Wow. So on that note, thank you all for the pioneers, pathfinders, and wayshowers, the architects of our new earth. Thank you all for being here. For those who have joined us on the gathering, and for those who will join the recording in the following days to come. And what a gift to be here now with you all. So as we return fully intact onto the earth plane, me from Whangarei, the gathering place of the whales, let me hand you over to Casey for closing.
Thank you, everyone. We will take a minute to gently release the field of connection. Gently release the codes that are still streaming. allowing all to be received into our light bodies through our postural systems that carry our star codes, that carry our codes of light, allowing integration into the human body and tapping into how long that will take on your individual journey is up to you. The codes are ready when you are ready to receive. Human time does not matter. We will solidify our individual pillars at this time, gently closing down that cosmic connection, gently closing down our earth connection, just so that we are more solid in our human selves, more anchored in, and asking for balance and equilibrium to come back into place. Knowing that we are connected at all times and we can return here whenever we need, in dream time, in meditation time, in times that we are needing connection, in times that we are needing upgrades, in times that we are needing to remember who we are on the soul level. The doorway is always open. The connection field is always there. And the work we do out in the higher realms, we do together. Thanking everyone for being here. We will come fully back into our human selves, feeling our feet on the ground where we are connected to Gaia, feeling our chairs beneath us, giving us a solid base, adding gentle movement. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, breathing deeply into yourselves. And when you are ready, choosing to come all the way back in, opening your eyes.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Talia, for acknowledging the white lions. It seems they wish to be very present in our next gathering in 2 weeks' time, in the new moon gathering. So they're just kind of knocking on the doors and saying, we're next. So we will be meeting with the white lions, it feels, in 2 weeks' time with our star lions. So thank you all for sharing this journey of our quantum alchemical restructuring, and a reminder to everybody who is watching this recording that if you need support along the way, please reach out. Everyone gathered here today are advanced practitioners and facilitators in their own right with their own unique gifts, and I'm sure we would be happy to support you to step into the next best version of yourself in your self-sourcing sovereignty and service. Much love, everyone. Aroha nui from Aotearoa until we meet again.